Alright guys, today we are making a video about the hidden vehicles that we have in War Thunder. And to start off, we have the PO22OP. As you can see, seems pretty OP. It's also made out of aluminium and duct tapes, and probably hopes as well. Could be a metaphor for the state of War Thunder when they made this event, held together by duct tape. Very nice, very funny gaijin. And as you can see, it's called the PO22OP, which was made for an event. And as you will soon discover, PO2 overpowered. It is fairly good. I have the I have the SU-25, and as you can see, no issue at all taking it out. That thing is a flying tank, and yeah, PO22OP absolutely making easy work of this flying tank. And it is armed with some MGs, as you can see, but it is more powerful than you might think. And it is also equipped with some pretty insane rockets. They seem pretty usual, but I assure you, when you could have played with them during the event, they are very effective indeed. But yeah, this is the PO22OP. I mean, as you can see, SU-25 over there. Just one hit and absolutely destroys it. One burst, one hit of this magnificent cannon. So yeah, this event made in 2022, you could have unlocked the normal PO2 if you finished the event, and to finish the event you had to finish one mission where you played the PO2 overpowered. For one mission, that's it, against AIs, and that's the story of the PO22OP. And since then, it has always remained in the files. Kinda nice. And on the same note as the PO22OP, we have the Zeppelin, which seems to do a Cobra perpetually, weirdly enough. Anyways, on the same note, because it was an event vehicle, which has been removed from the game after the event, but it is still in the files, and you can still spawn it inside custom missions. You can't play it, but it is still there. The turrets are still there, still the crew on top. It seems a bit more wobbly than it should be, but otherwise it's fine, you know. And this Zeppelin was part of the 2025 April Fool's event. It was made about World War I, and it is very fragile. Just some 20mm and it is out. But yeah, we'll probably stay in the files and stay in game for quite some time, considering the PO22OP is still there. And honestly, I don't mind it. Okay, and next on the list is another event vehicle that has been removed from the game. Not removed from the game, but is not available anymore and was only available for a short little while during the event. And this is the Goliath. Basically an RC tank, if you will, that is meant to go under an enemy tank. For example, this big old mouse. You go under the tank and set it off. And it works very well! Would you look at this? Okay, so made it easier, you can respawn. But yeah, it was available during the event where you could get the Storm Tiger. The Storm Tiger, during the event you could play this tank. Yeah, you had to defend yourself from a horde of Soviet tank coming your way. And now it is just relegated to being in the files in War Thunder, and you can only make it work by having a custom mission with it, with a custom unit. It's kind of weird to make it work. But yeah, not available quote-unquote legitimately, only with weird user missions. It works very well. Even just a small pine tree is enough to stop it completely. Didn't even think about it, but yeah, makes sense. That thing is probably less than 100 kilograms heavy. No, probably more. Even being a bit, yeah, even a little far away is more than enough to take it down. And IS-2, oh man, it can camo itself so well and inside the grass. That thing would be OP if it came with the Storm Tiger as default, but damn, it would be funny. Alright, and next up we have the V1 Flying Bomb. So that thing was produced in fairly large numbers between 1944 and 1945 in Germany. It's actually pretty insane, the number of V1 they made, around 30,000 when you think about it. That's fairly insane. And it's basically a drone. There is a little computer inside, analog computer that somewhat tells it where to go. Yeah, as you can see, unmanned, nobody controlling it, just an engine and a very simple computer telling it where to somewhat go. And it is in the files of the game. Not very well modeled, as you can see. It seems like a very crude model. and it seems to not be powered actually. It makes noise, it makes the characteristic buzzing sound of the V1. As you can hear, almost sounds like a prop, not gonna lie. Wait, is it not powered? Kind of feels like it is not powered. Yeah, it's stalling now. Yeah, it would appear that it is not powered. And does it have a damage model? Sure does. It's pretty resilient. But yeah, those things were quite a threat to England. A lot of those managed to hit the island, sadly. So yeah, it's basically a drone that was made to kamikaze itself to their target. It had like a big payload of TNT in the nose, and they were just made for one-way missions. Yeah, doing what it did best, going in the ground. And my assumption is that it was mainly made for campaigns in the game. And I would assume that they were planning to make a campaign where the V1 was meant to appear in, but they didn't finish it, or maybe the campaign doesn't exist anymore and there is just this relic that exists in the game, in the CDK for you to look around, I guess. Okay, now this one is a bit weirder. As you can see, I have an ally over there, and this ally is not any kind of ally. It is a Jaguar, and not any kind of Jaguar, because if you see right under the belly of the aircraft, it has some payload, and this payload is a nuke. It is a nuke that you can drop in ground RB once you get enough kills with your tank. You can see it being dropped, and as you can see, it does not do any damage, and it does not do any kind of big explosion that you would expect for a nuke. And this Jaguar is actually a unique aircraft in the file. It is not, as you would expect, a normal Jaguar from the French Tech 3, for example, and they just gave it some payload and made it available for everybody. No, they created a separate aircraft with a unique payload that is available for each nation. So each nation has a secret aircraft, well, multiple secret aircraft, which enables them to be able to be spawned in a ground RB game. And the nuke doesn't do any damage and doesn't do a big explosion as you expect, because the explosion itself is an effect which needs to be activated using some commands to actually work. Basically, I made the event when you kill this tank, it makes a nuke. You will see. Okay, the lag is a bit extreme, and it broke my sound, but you get the idea. It is just an effect. It is all a lie. The bomb you see under the belly of your aircraft that is dropping the nuke is just a prop. It doesn't do anything. Sad, oh sad. Alright, and the final hidden vehicle is the C-47, basically a military version of the DC-3. Very famous aircraft, pretty much the first airliner, actual good airliner I would say. And it is in game, natively. You can use it. No, you can't use it, but it is in game, it is modeled. Actually good model as well, for once. But yeah, look at this beauty. Kind of a shame we don't see it at all in battles, you know. It would make for some neat AI vehicles, you know. And it is all working. Oh god, it is absolutely magnificent though. Wow, that is nice looking. And yeah, you can basically spawn as many as you want in the CDK. Once again, I think it was first introduced for the campaigns of the game, and they made some AI aircraft use, well, the C-47. Wait, there is even the door open for some parachuting. That is neat. That looks a bit goofy how he's standing there, but anyways, for campaigns, and now it's pretty much never seen, sadly. And if I'm not wrong, it has gotten a little model upgrade, so it looks better, and I think it was mostly due to Enlisted, the other game made by Gaijin, using the same game engine as War Thunder. So when they updated the model of the C-47 for Enlisted, they decided, you know what, let's just port it for War Thunder as well, might as well, you know. This means we have a very cool aircraft. Neat! Well, I hope you enjoyed this video very much, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you did, and I will see you around very soon.